Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about physiotherapy for lumbarization and sacralization. So myself Dr. Sneha Bhatia, MPT in Orthopedics and Sports Rehabilitation, in charge principal at late Srimati S.G. Patel Institute of Physiotherapy. So before I start with my lecture, I would like to request my audience to please subscribe to my channel and to press the bell icon to get notified for the next video and share my channel with your friends. So human spine is composed of vertebrae. So it composed of cervical vertebrae, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccyx. So there are 5 lumbar vertebra and 5 fused sacral vertebra in our spine. So this is the normal anatomy of the sacrum. As we can see in this picture, we have the apex of the sacrum and the base of the sacrum. So top portion is the base of the sacrum. We have the ala of the sacrum. We have the body of first sacral vertebra. Then sacral promontory is visible in this picture. Ventral sacral foramina is visible in this picture, and transverse lines site of vertebral fusion are visible in this picture. We can also see at the bottom of the picture that there is presence of coccyx. So this is the superior anterior view. So these is the normal part of the anatomy of the sacrum bone. So it is consist of the base and the apex and the sacral vertebrae. So this is again second picture showing the anatomy of the sacrum. We can see the articular surface for L5. We have the ala. Sacral promontory is visible in the anterior aspect. We can see the ventral sacral foramina and transverse ridges, and at the bottom of the picture we can see the articular surface for coccyx. So this is the anterior portion of the sacrum. On the right hand side of the picture we can see the posterior aspect. So posteriorly we can see sacral canal, sacral tuberosity, superior articular facets, dorsal wall, medial crest, sacrum cornu and dorsal sacral foramina. So that is the anterior and the posterior aspect of the sacrum. Now what is lumbarization? Lumbarization of S1 or lumbarization of first sacral vertebra is a condition in which the first sacral vertebra is not completely attached to its fused sacral component, but instead this first sacral vertebra appears like the other lumbar vertebra. So here S1 appears like lumbar vertebra. So that is called as lumbarization of the S1 vertebra. It is also called as an extra vertebra. It is additional lumbar vertebra or transitional vertebra. It occurs due to non-fusion of first and second sacral segments. So low back pain in the presence of LSTV was originally noted by Mario Bertolotti in 1917, and it was termed as Bertolotti's syndrome. So LSTV is the lumbosacral transitional vertebra. So we can see in this picture there is lumbarization. So we can see on the left hand side there is a picture showing the normal lumbar spine, that is from L1 to L5. So we have L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5. Total 5 lumbar vertebrae are present in normal human spine, and we can see S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. Total 5 sacral vertebrae are visible on the normal human spine. On the right hand side of the picture we can see L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 and L6. So presence of L6 is called as lumbarization. So in case of sacrum it will have S1, S2, S3 and S4. So S5 will be missing in the case of lumbarization, and instead of that we will have one more additional vertebra, that is the L6 vertebra. So presence of L6 vertebra is the lumbarization. So on the right hand side of the picture we can see the lumbar spine with lumbarization of the S1 vertebra. So this is the MRI image showing the presence of lumbarization. So case of L6 vertebra with type 2A transition. So we can see on the right hand side and the left hand side images are visible. So T2 weighted sagittal cervicothoracic and lumbar images in the cross referencing mode of the picture archiving and communication system. This simultaneously demonstrate the marker at the T12 and L1 disc space. Continuing the vertebral level caudally from the C2 reveals this patient to have 25 presacral vertebra and 6 lumbar vertebra. So this is the again another picture which is showing lumbarization of the S1. We can see the anterior aspect of the sacrum which is seen in the left side corner of the picture, picture A. We can see S1, S2, S3 and S4. In the B picture which is on the right hand side, we can see posterior aspect of the lumbarization on sacrum bone. So we can see the S1 segment is having the spinous process and the transverse process also we can see in this picture. So posteriorly, if we see on the original sacrum bone, then posteriorly it will look like how it is seen in on the picture B. So again this is the picture showing the lumbarization. We can see the presence of S1 vertebra. So S1 sacral segment will look like lumbar vertebra, that is the lumbarization. So again this is the X-ray showing T12. Coming down from T12 we can see L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 and L6. So presence of L6 vertebra is clearly visible on this X-ray. So again this is the picture showing X-ray appearance of LSTV based on the Castelvi et al. Classification. So they have classified the lumbarization into different types. So in the picture A, the topmost picture, we can see type 1B with bilaterally enlarged L5 transverse process but no articulation with the sacrum. In picture B we can see the type 2A with unilateral pseudoarthrosis. In picture C we can see type 2B with bilateral pseudoarthrosis. In picture D we can see type 3A with unilateral fusion of the enlarged transverse process to the sacral ala. In picture E we can see type 3B with bilateral fusion, and picture F we can see type 4 appearance with fusion on the left side and pseudoarthrosis on the right side. So signs and symptoms of lumbarization: it is difficult to accommodate the additional vertebral joint while performing the daily tasks. So this vertebra is more vulnerable to injury and joint irritation. Advancing age and activities, the lumbarized first sacral vertebra can find it difficult to cope and may become an area that triggers pain, discomfort or may remain prone to injury. So presence of L6 vertebra will give rise to back pain and other signs and symptoms. So patient may experience back pain, inflammation, swelling, stiffness of the back, muscle spasm, increased risk of injury, intervertebral disc problems with radiculopathy. All these are the signs and symptoms of the lumbarization. What is sacralization? So sacralization of L5 or sacralization of the fifth lumbar vertebra is a congenital anomaly in which the fifth lumbar vertebra, mainly its transverse process, gets fused or semi-fused with the sacrum or the ilium or to both. Fusion can occur in one or both sides of the body. So sacralization leads to fusion of the L5, that is the fifth lumbar vertebra, and S1, that is the first sacral vertebra, and the intervertebral disc between them may be narrow. So this is the sacralization we can see in the picture, right hand side and left hand side of the picture. So left hand side we can see that there is sacralization. So these are three different pictures. In the first picture we can see that only one side there is fusion. In the second picture we can see there is fusion, but the fusion is extensive compared to the first picture, and on the last picture we can see bilateral fusion is present. Sacralization, so lumbosacral transitional vertebra, sacralization of L5. So Enlarged left transverse process of last presacral vertebra forms diarthrodial joint with lateral mass of sacrum. And picture B shows complete bony fusion on the left side. So this is the picture showing the sacralization. So here what will happen? The vertebra will fuse with the sacrum in case of sacralization. Signs and symptoms: it is asymptomatic most of the time. Many patients will die with the condition without experiencing any kind of back pain or low back pain. Patients with sacralization are more prone towards back problems than those of lumbarization. Fusion of L5 in sacralization causes decreased mobility, more wear and tear of intervertebral joints of L4 and L5 and L5S1 level due to reduced disc space. It leads to IVDP, that is intervertebral disc prolapse, which may further require surgical intervention. Diagnosis: the diagnosis of lumbarization as well as sacralization can be done by the X-ray. So if we take the X-ray of the patient, if there is presence of L6 vertebra or if there is sacralization of L5 vertebra, that is very much prominent on the X-ray images. MRI also can reveal if the patient is having lumbarization or sacralization. CT scan images can also be helpful to see if the patient has lumbarization or sacralization. So this is the picture. Picture A is showing the sacralization of the L5 vertebra. Anterior aspect and the posterior aspect both are visible. So pelvic surface anteriorly we can see on the left hand side. On the right hand side we can see the dorsal surface which shows L5 is fused with the sacrum, that is S1. In the picture B, the down part of the image, we can see the lumbarization of the S1 vertebra. So S1 is not part of the sacrum. So pelvic surface we can see anterior surface S2, and on the right hand side we can see the dorsal surface. So we can see lumbarization. Now treatment consists of drugs, surgical procedure and rehabilitation. So physiotherapy, we can give pain relief, postural education, back ergonomics, core muscle strengthening exercises, lumbar corset, mobilization and range of motion exercises for the lumbar spine. So this is a study, effect of joint mobilization using KEOMT and PNF on a patient with chronic low back pain and a lumbar transitional vertebra. This was a case study. So what they have found in this case study, that PNF and mobilization, Carlton bone orthopedic manual therapy, is effective in treatment of lumbarization as well as sacralization. So CT scan after exercises, we can see in this image, left hand side is showing the multifidus thickness on a CT scan pre exercises, and on the right hand side figure 3 we can see multifidus thickness post exercises. So muscles of the core strengthening also should be done as a part of physiotherapy program. So transverse abdominis muscle, we have to focus on core strengthening and mainly the transverse abdominis muscle. If the core muscles of the patient is strong, then it will support the back and the patient will experience the signs and symptoms of lumbarization and sacralization, but their pain will be reduced, and they can, if the core muscles are strong enough, then it will support the back. So the patient will have relief of pain and the signs and symptoms will also reduce. So the transverse abdominis, the deep muscle of the core, wraps around the trunk like a corset. It attaches the lower ribs, diaphragm and lumbar spine to the hips. In effect, it lies the rib cage and upper body to the pelvis and lower body. It keeps the patient connected. The core stabilizes the body, protects the spinal column and provides a firm support for the various physical activities that the patient performs. Benefits of the physiotherapy exercises: if the patient is having lumbarization and sacralization and he is performing regular exercises, then the spine curvature will normalize, Range of motion of flexion and extension of the thoracic and the lumbar region will increase. Mobilization has also positive effect on the spinal motion. So if the therapist is performing mobilization, if the patient is having lumbarization and sacralization, then it will benefit the patient. It will increase the range of motion of the patient. It will reduce the pain of the patient, and patient will find it comfortable while performing activities of daily life. So these are my references for today's video. So thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed watching this video, then please subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon to get notified for the next video, and share this channel with your friends. Thank you.